Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user TemperatureOverall94. Am I the a-hole for giving my wedding dress to my future daughter-in-law instead of my stepdaughter? I, 42 female, married 24 years ago. I decided that if I had a daughter, I would pass the dress and accessories on to her. I chose a simple, elegant dress rather than what was fashionable at the time because I wanted something timeless that people could wear for generations to come. I had my son, Mark, now 22 male, a year after, and his father passed away when he was young. I raised Mark as a single mom for several years. I decided that when Mark married, I would give my dress and accessories to his future wife. When I was 33, I met Rob, now 52 male. I fell in love with him and we quickly married. He became a great father figure for Mark, and I was so excited to have a stepdaughter, Molly, now 24 female. My relationship with Molly had a rocky beginning. I've been patient and gentle with her. I've offered to take her shopping or get her nails done. I asked Rob about her favorite food and made sure to cook those. She made it clear that she didn't see me as her real mom. Years passed and I never changed the way I treated Molly. My door was always open for her, but she never changed the way she thought about me. She called me a trophy wife to my face. If I ever threw a charity event, she would remark, "Wow, you're so generous with Dad's money." While she didn't say anything explicitly, I could tell she looked down on me for not having a college degree. A couple years ago, I made a final offering to Molly. I brought her into my closet and showed her the dress and accessories and told her I would love for her to wear them at her wedding. Some alterations would have to be done. I am 5'9" and a size 4 while Molly is 5'4" and a size 8, but we could make it work. Molly scoffed and said I had archaic values and that the dress was trashy and walked out. That really hurt because she knew what that dress meant to me and she didn't care. After that, I stopped making as much of an effort to build a relationship with her. Then, 2 months ago, Mark proposed to his college sweetheart, Lucy, with whom I have a great relationship. When Lucy mentioned dress shopping, I showed her my dress. Lucy tried it on and it fit like a glove. She fell in love with it and I told her the dress, shoes, and accessories were hers. She was so happy she literally cried. However, a couple days ago, Molly reached out to me out of the blue to ask if the dress was still available. I told her I had given it to Lucy. She asked if I could get it back from Lucy since I offered it to her first. And I told her, 1, she said she didn't want it, 2, it fits Lucy perfectly, and 3, Lucy is the only one getting married within the foreseeable future. Now, Molly is saying I'm favoring Lucy over her because she's conforming to traditional standards of femininity, getting married and being thin. That's absolutely baloney, but it got me thinking that if the roles were reversed and Lucy was the one asking for the dress after initially turning it down, would I give it to her? Is Molly right that I'm favoring Lucy? Am I the a-hole? I did offer the dress to Molly first, and it could be seen as alienating my stepdaughter. Well, OP, in short, no, you are most definitely not the a-hole. Yes, you did offer it to Molly first, but then she said, "No, I don't want it. It's tacky, it's old," or whatever it is she said. She rejected it. She didn't want it. So of course, then you're free to offer it to anybody else who would want it. You offered it to Lucy. She loved it. She wants it, and she's going to use it at her wedding, which apparently is not something that's happening for Molly in the short term. So why would she want it now? What does she want to do to that wedding dress? Look, I don't know if she's doing it out of spite just to cause problems because, she's a 24-year-old woman. I would assume she'd have the maturity to not behave like a 12-year-old child. So OP, I would tell Molly, tough luck. Talk to your husband so he's aware of what's going on, and give the dress and accessories to Lucy as soon as possible just in case Molly decides to pull some stupid crap. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Oh no, Sand People says, not the a-hole. Molly only wants it because Lucy has it. Lucy recognized how precious this dress was to you and treated it accordingly. Molly turned her nose up in an attempt to hurt you. Lucy accepting the dress sounds like a wonderful bonding moment for you both. Cherish the memory and ease your mind. You've done nothing wrong. Edit to say, if Molly isn't getting married, I wouldn't put it past her to take the dress to cut up into something else. Beck 2010 says, you do realize that Molly likely found out you'd given the dress to Lucy and now wants it just to spite you, right? Not the a-hole. Molly is an adult who behaves like a spoiled child in this case, and probably most of the time too. I'd also be willing to bet Molly wants the dress for 2 reasons. 1. Lucy can't have it, so Molly can hurt you and your son. 2. She wants to destroy the dress simply to hurt you. Be polite, treat her as you would a business associate, polite disinterest, and continue to live your life. That's all you can do. Tangerine Bouquet says, not the a-hole. Why did Molly even reach out to you about the dress? Given that she's not getting married, what does she even want to do with something she considers trashy? It's obvious that she only wanted to hurt you here because she knew you were giving it to someone else. It has no meaning to her other than as a way to hurt you. You'd already given the dress away, so you're done here. And Chilling Storm says, you are favoring the one who you have a better relationship with. That's kinda how things work. Molly rejected your offer. It is your dress to do with what you want. Lucy was given the offer and accepted. Now, if Lucy wants to let Molly use it in the future, that can be addressed when and if Molly is getting married, not the a-hole. So the community agrees that OP is not the a-hole, and everybody's very suspicious about why Molly would want the wedding dress now. So now, let's move on to the update to see how the story ends. Wow, thank you for all your kind words. I wanted to give an update to respond to general questions and comments. First, I want to say that the fact that most of the comments are not the a-hole is very reassuring. It makes me feel better about my decision to not give my dress to Molly. I saw some comments suggesting this, so I would like to let you know I already gave the dress to Lucy, and it's safe in her apartment now. Molly has already been bugging Lucy about the dress, but Lucy told me there's no way in heck she's giving it away. Some of you have also been wondering about Mark and Rob's responses. Mark is currently out of town on business, and I have had no communication with him on this matter. I'm sure he'll be supportive of Lucy though. I did not bring this up to Rob because while Molly and I have a difficult relationship, I don't want to sow division between her and her father. However, Rob brought it up last night, saying Molly had contacted him on the matter. Rob was like, you aren't going to give it to her, are you? When I said no, he told me to promise him I would not give the dress to her. It was very comforting to know Rob is on my side. Another thing I want to make clear, I do not expect Molly to conform to certain standards. When I referred to traditional standards of femininity, getting married and being thin, I was paraphrasing words that came out of her mouth. I was raised in a traditional household, but I understand that a lot of women, especially young women, do not share my values. Frankly, Lucy doesn't either. She has an engineering degree and openly talks about wanting to prioritize her career over starting a family. At least for the foreseeable future, and I couldn't be happier for her. I do realize that I could have done a better job communicating to Molly that I don't care what she does so long as she is a good person and she leaves the world better than she found it. Lastly, because after reading the comments, I fear I painted Molly in a bad light, I should say that Molly has had a rough life due to the divorce between Rob and her biological mother. I have never met her mother, and I don't want to go into gross detail on the internet about someone's life other than my own, but I will say that her relationship with her mother is not great. I think Molly might be projecting aspects of that relationship onto me. However, your comments have helped me realize she is in the wrong in this situation. I've also realized that it isn't just on me to build a relationship with her. She has to work at it too, and so far she has not. I'm never going to shut her out, but at this point, if she wants to connect with me, she has to be the one making the effort. I really hope the best for her, but she sure as heck isn't getting that dress. Well, OP, I think this is a very positive update. You gave Lucy the dress and now she has it safe in her apartment just in case Molly tries to do anything, which I don't think she will, but still. And even though you didn't want to raise this with your husband, he knew about it and he backs you 100%. So that's just great. And regarding Molly, if she's not getting any help for whatever baggage she has over the divorce, maybe she should. But she's an adult and she gets to decide that. So on that note, OP, here's wishing you the best in the future. Thanks for sharing and take care. And now, let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit True Off My Chest, and it's by user Ke2018. I was once again left out of my daughter's birthday pictures, and I'm done talking to my husband about it. Pretty much as the title says, my daughter turned 5 in the middle of last week, but yesterday we had her birthday party. We had it at the local trampoline park, since that's her favorite place right now, lol. Because of my husband's work schedule, I did the majority of the planning. He did contribute financially, but I planned the theme, made the party reservation, ordered the cake, made the party favors, etc. My daughter is a huge daddy's girl, and thus he is the favorite parent. She's only 5, so I don't hold it against her by any means, but it still definitely hurts. For health reasons, I can't jump with my daughter, but my husband can. They both had a great time, and so did the other kids that were there. But just like previous years, I'm the one behind the camera. I take all the pictures every year, and I'm not in any of them. I've spoken to my husband about my feelings before, but all I get are empty promises of how he will do better. Last year, we rented a room at the local conference center for her party, and I asked my grandmother to take pictures of me and my husband holding our child while we sang happy birthday and cut the cake. Instead of pictures, she took a video. Once again, no pictures of me. Call me old-fashioned, but I like printing pictures for photo albums, and I can't exactly print off a video. You could take stills of the video and print those. So another year of no pictures. After yesterday's party, we decided to take her gifts home rather than open them at the party. The kids had a very limited time at the park, so rather than spend 20 minutes opening presents, we figured it would be better to take them home and open them there so the kids had more time to play. Even while opening presents, I was behind the camera. My husband didn't think once that I should be in any of them. By the end of the day, I was very upset, and I'll give my husband credit for knowing when I am. Then again, I wasn't really hiding it. I went to say goodnight to my daughter because I had to be up early the next day. He followed me to talk to me. He said, "What's wrong? What did I do?" I just looked at him and said, "It's what you didn't do for the 3rd year in a row." I just went to the bedroom and he didn't follow me. I'm just done. I'm so sick of his empty promises of doing better. Besides little things like this, he's a good husband and an amazing father. But it genuinely feels like there are times when he doesn't think about me at all. And if anyone thinks, well, why don't you just ask him to take pictures? I shouldn't have to. I'd like to think that my husband would want pictures of me and our child together. The last picture I remember him taking of me and our daughter was in a restaurant on my 29th birthday, and I asked him to take it. I'm so tired of this. At any time, I could get sick or be in an accident and die, and the only pictures my daughter will have of me will be selfies I've taken. None of me on her birthdays or even holidays. Now, because our crazy schedules, I won't see my husband until next Sunday, unless he stays up all night to see me in the morning, which he sometimes does. Part of me wants to text him and lay it all out again, but the majority of my thoughts is to just give up on it. I told my husband for the 3rd year in a row, but it's probably been more than that. I don't recall seeing any pictures of me and her on her birthday or me even being in the background. I'm just so hurt and tired of it. Thanks for reading. Well, OP, I gotta say, I understand your feelings and of course they're valid, but I don't agree with you not saying anything because he should just know that this is what you want. Yes, you've told him multiple times, and I understand it's frustrating to talk about something and you feel like you're not being heard. but I think that just like you, he also has a lot of things in his head that he's got to think about. And if you only bring this up once a year, yeah, he could forget. It sucks, but it happens. My wife and I have had a similar conversation, not regarding pictures, but about other things. She knows I love her and that she and our children are in the forefront of my thoughts. But at the same time, I tell her, look, if there's something that's important to you that you want me to know, don't wait for me to guess because I might not. So just tell me what you want and I'll do my best to do it or make it happen. Of course, she understands and knows that it goes the other way, that if I want something from her, I'll tell her. I'm not gonna wait for her to guess because she has to. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Advanced Passage 492 says, your feelings are valid, but you kind of cut off your nose to spite your face here. You should have insisted on some photos. Sure, you should not have to ask, but end result is no photos and you can't take that back. Luscious Lips says, I'm really sorry you're going through this. What you're feeling is totally valid. It's not just about pictures, it's about feeling seen and valued in your family. Maybe suggest hiring a photographer for important occasions. It might take the pressure off you and ensure you're included in those cherished memories. And Imaginary Limit 1321 says, I understand what you are saying and your feelings are valid, but I also feel like you should just say, alright, my turn, hand your husband the camera and say, take some pictures of me and our daughter together. I'm sure if you hand him the camera, he will take pictures. I would not be waiting for it to happen. I would make it happen. Problem solved. I think he will catch on and start taking camera from you himself. So the community agrees that OP's feelings are valid, but they also encourage her to speak up and tell the husband to take pictures on the moment, not a year before. So now let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. Thank you to everyone who read and commented on my post. There were a lot of supportive comments and some harsh ones, but I appreciate them all as there were many who made some great points. Before I dive into the update, there are some comments that were made that I want to address. Many pointed out that my husband is probably just someone who wants to live in the moment, and I 100% agree. The biggest reason I was hurt was because of how many times I have spoken to him about my feelings and his constant promises to do better. However, like many said, he probably just doesn't think about it at the time. I don't think he does it on purpose or doesn't do it out of spite. He's probably having too much fun with our daughter and forgets, and I shouldn't have let it get to me too much. I still think I shouldn't have to ask, but we clearly have different views when it comes to special occasions. He wants to live in the moment and I want to preserve the moments. With that said, please know that I don't constantly have a camera in my hand. I just use my phone to snap pictures every so often. I put the phone down so I can enjoy my daughter's parties and family gatherings too. I just wanted him to do the same for me on occasion. Many have said to just take selfies of me and her, and I do. I take a lot of them. I would just like pictures others have taken as well, or even just pictures of me where I'm not necessarily posing. Just pictures of me playing with her or hanging out at the party with family and friends. Many suggested hiring a photographer, but that's not something we can really afford, but hopefully with our talk, we won't even need to consider it. On to the update. My husband and I spoke last night. When I don't have work the next day, I stay up late so I can spend some time with him, and I wanted us to finally talk. When he came home, we sat down. He says he still doesn't fully understand what he did wrong, and I told him again how I wasn't in any pictures and how I have talked to him about this many times. I did say that I understand he is someone who more lives in the moment, but I just wanted to have proof that I was there too, that I was present at her parties and for her to have memories of me there. Our daughter is only 5 and she won't remember her parties or holidays from when she was younger. As she gets older, I know she will know I was there, but I also want her to see me in her younger years as she grows up. There were some tears and we apologized to each other. He promised again to do better, but I'm not gonna lie, I'll believe it when I see it, as he's said that before, lol. I promised to be more understanding of his values. Going forward, I'll also ask family and friends to help take pictures so there are also more photos to save and not just mine. And yes, as many said, there will be times where I just flat out ask him to take pictures. thank you again to everyone who commented on my last post. I appreciate the support and also the comments that made some great points about how each of us have different perspectives and I need to be more understanding of his values and not just mine. Well, Peep, I think this is a positive update, and I think it's another win for communication. Hopefully now you'll start to appear in pictures of your daughter's birthdays, even if you have to ask for them. So on that note, here's wishing you the best in the future. Take care and thank you for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.